Welcome back to Project Eggroll. I'm Phil, and they did it. They actually freaking did it. Netflix has finally came out with a live action adaptation that's not dog water. And oh boy, I really did enjoy it. There was a total of 8 episodes, and overall, I thought that this show was gonna suck. I really did. I thought that the show was gonna be probably as egregious as Cowboy Bebop, and don't get me started with Cowboy Bebop. The thing is, I only watched the first episode, and I just watched the last episode. I'm like, okay, this show it's absolutely dog crap. But on the other hand, One Piece, I actually gave it a fair shot. I watched the first episode, and I was like, okay, I want to continue watching the second episode. That's how shows should be. It should actually give you a hook. The first episode should draw you in, especially knowing that the anime has more than 1,000 episodes, and I'm not sure how many arcs there are in the manga, but the thing is, I have never actually read or watched One Piece at all. I never consumed any One Piece media, so this is the first time I'm going in raw dog. So overall, I freaking enjoyed it. I think the characters are well written. I think the animations were fine. I think, of course, you can't have crazy gum animations with stretchy VFXs because even Hollywood, like the people over at Marvel and DC, can't really do it correctly. But overall, the show was extremely well thought out. And the fact that they got Oda behind making sure everything works out is what made the show really good. The thing is, I did watch a lot of Naruto. I did watch a lot of Bleach. I did read both of them. The only big 3 that I didn't read or watch was One Piece. It was because it was so overwhelming hearing that it's been out since the 90s and it's still going. There's over 1,000 episodes. And I asked my brothers, who are really big fans, if it's worth getting into. And they say, after the 4th season, it gets really good. And I'm like, I'm not going to watch 4 seasons of One Piece just so I can get really hooked into the show until I watched the One Piece live action adaptation from Netflix. So watching the live action adaptation from Netflix gave me that feel and the sense of wonderment that I get from watching several episodes of Game of Thrones, watching as a kid when Goku first became a Super Saiyan on planet Namek. That's how I felt when watching several scenes. The first couple episodes were pretty decent. I'm not a big fan of how rushed it felt though. I know that according to one person that I talked to, and I think it was probably on my Kick stream, they said that it takes 45 episodes, or someone in the chat says this 8 episodes is basically 45 episodes of the anime, which is insane, which is a lot of stuff they're cramming into the live action. So undoubtedly, most of the stuff that's important, or maybe some of the stuff that can potentially make the characters better, character development, backgrounds and all that stuff, some of them might be missed. So one of the main one was probably for me was episode 3 and 4. I think those 2 episodes are the weakest episodes of all 8. So I think that's the one where you first meet Kuro, which is the bad guy, Kaya, and you first meet God, I forgot his name already. Oh my god, dude. Who's that guy's name again? Usopp. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Anyways, yes, when they introduced Usopp, I thought Usopp was, personality-wise, I think Usopp was great. He had very good, light-hearted personality, and everyone does have a light-hearted personality, other than Zoro and Nami. But Usopp I thought was pretty good. I thought they made his characters pretty good, but it felt like he didn't prove himself to be that strong of a character compared to everyone else that's a part of the crew. He's a very good sharpshooter. He's a very good sniper. I believe he was like doing some stuff in the kitchen when he was like shooting stuff into the pan with his slingshot, and Luffy was like, "Oh, you're a good sniper." I'm like, that's the only time where he actually showed that he was a good sniper in the show. It doesn't really show a lot of his character development. I'm not sure how this is in the manga or anime, but it felt like he was definitely rushed out of all the characters. Though there was some backstory with him and his mother, and his father being Usopp, who's actually a part of Shanks's crew, which is pretty cool. And everyone is sort of like intertwined, and it does have the same feel of Naruto. And the thing is, I watched Naruto first, so when you watch Naruto, a lot of the older crew like Kakashi, the Hokages, the Sannins, all of them, they're well known and they're very established in the lore and in the universe of Naruto. And the people that we're following are the kids. And you see the kids become stronger, they become better at what they do. It is exactly the same thing as it is in One Piece. So I'm pretty sure that's where Naruto got it from. Kishimoto's probably stole or, borrowed that type of character development from One Piece. And, it works out really, really well. So knowing that everything has been condensed for the show, for the live action show, I just hope moving forward, instead of getting 8 episodes, we probably get 9 or 10 episodes. So you have at least 1 or 2 more episodes to develop the characters. I think Usopp is one of the ones that needed to be more developed. I don't think that he's done his feats that he did in the show weren't big enough for him to be a part of the crew. One thing that he did was episode 7 or episode 8, where he shot one of the fishermen people, and he was able to get him is because he shot like an explosive pellet at a person that's like spitting out alcohol or some shit like that. That's the only time that it was warranted. But overall, I think Usopp's character is pretty funny. I felt like he was more of the comic relief. He always saying that like he's the captain and this is his crew, and he makes up a bunch of stories to try to impress Kaya, which is pretty decent. Overall, it was great. My favorite episodes is probably episode 5 and episode 6. I believe the backstory of Sanji. I would say that's probably my favorite one, is because the Captain Cook, I forgot his name already, but his story and how he met Sanji was really good, and how they were stuck on like a tiny island, just them two with no resources, no food and stuff like that. And there's only like a couple bags of food, and finding out what the captain did to save Sanji was actually pretty damn cool. I actually felt a lot of emotion that came out of me. So I thought that was really well done. The animations for Buggy, I thought that was, initially when you saw the trailer, it looked a little bit wacky, a little bit silly, but that's what One Piece is. It's a very lighthearted, wacky, silly anime. And according to what I heard from the people in the chat, and the people from our live stream, saying that it actually gets more political as you progress through the story, which is fine. I think it can be, is because there's more of the people that are adhering to specific laws, and there are a lot of characters that might be coming in that haven't even been introduced yet. So I know that there's a character that Oda talked about, and I believe he did a sketch on it. It was during like a video that he made. So we're finally getting Tony Chopper as a part of the crew, which I'm looking forward to see how they are going to make that character look in the show. Character is basically like a teddy bear type of character, so we'll see. Another thing is the gum effects, the chop cannons effect with all the stretchiness and all the wackiness. I thought it was done really, really well. And what Oda told, I forgot it was an interview or it was some kind of video that he was doing, that he was approached a long time ago, several decades ago, to do a One Piece live action movie or a TV show. And he said, hell no. You guys gonna ruin my shit and I'm not gonna have any of it. The only way that he was, well, not the only way, but the reason that he was able to be convinced was after watching Shaolin Soccer. And if you haven't seen Shaolin Soccer or even Kung Fu Hustle, it's a very wacky, silly action movie. Shaolin Soccer is based off of several Shaolin monks that was supposed to spread their stories and their abilities and spread the gospel of Shaolin martial arts to the world. And while doing so, they lost track of that, and they all became sort of poor. Some of them became homeless, some of them became businessmen, some of them became like a cook or like a person that worked at a supermarket, and they lost track of that, the sense of urgency to spread the word of Shaolin. And they found soccer, and soccer, they were able to use their abilities as Shaolin monks to become awesome soccer players. Versus Kung Fu Hustle is just random, crazy Kung Fu madness and with wacky visual effects, and it works out. And it was definitely very, very lighthearted, and it worked out great. And I'm glad that Oda was able to use this as a template. It's like, hey, I think Hollywood or filmmakers can potentially adapt my creation into a live action adaptation, which is what they did here. Now, several characters that stood out to me the most. I think Shanks is, of course, obviously one of them. You don't really know his abilities. I'm assuming he has some kind of devil fruit abilities. I'm not sure, because he was able to talk to that giant sea monster thing in the beginning when he lost his arm. Another thing is Mihawk's. I think Mihawk's was, holy crap, Mihawk's introduction was probably by far the best character introduction in the show. Overall, I think every character in the show that's a sort of a bad guy or is a bad guy that has a wanted poster that pops up, and the fact that they interact with the wanted poster, I thought that was a very nice touch that they did. But Mihawk's introduction, him on a beach, giant ass sword, fucking shit up, destroying stuff, stuff, and then does a fucking giant sword slash that completely cuts a ship apart. Like, holy crap, man, that was so fucking cool. And then at the end of the show, look, this is going to be spoilers, of course. After me already talking for about 12 minutes, this is already spoilers. But I think how they introduce these characters and how at the end of the show where Mihawk actually goes and talks to Shanks, like all of these older characters, they all know one another. Buggy, Kuro, Shanks, Vice Admiral, like all of them, they all know each other because they're from an older generation. They fought each other, they worked with each other, or they've been on the same crew as one another. So the show was so good that it made me want to watch the anime or read the manga of One Piece. And the same day that I finished it, I actually watched up to episode 5 of the anime. And the reason why I didn't continue is because I had to go to sleep, because I literally just binged the entire season in one day. So overall, I thought the show was fantastic. I can't wait to see more. According to what I heard, Oda has officially announced that season 2 is already going to be in the works. The script and stuff like that, it's already going to be written. And I even heard that they're going to be doing a total of 12 seasons. 12 seasons. And the fact that if 45 episodes to maybe 50 episodes can be condensed into one season, I don't know. 12 seasons, I don't know. Like they're going to have to cut a lot of stuff. They're going to have to fast forward to a lot of stuff. Maybe there isn't a lot of pirating going on. It's because we didn't actually see a lot of like, you know, ship traversal, you know, on the boat, traveling, talking. There isn't a lot of that, which they did a lot of that in Pirates of the Caribbean, which is also really great. There's also a lot of ship, a lot of traveling from location to location. But this one, it felt like everything has to be rushed. They have to instant transmission from location to location. That's how I felt like. It's literally felt like they were Varys from Game of Thrones. And the reason why there was a rumor that's going around that Varys is actually a mermaid is because Varys is everywhere all the time. And that's how I feel like that's what they're doing with the characters of One Piece. Wherever they need to be, they are there already. There's no travel time. There's no distance. Like, we're not sure how much time that it takes from going from location A to location B. But overall, whatever they have, I'm on board. I loved it. I give this show like an 8 out of 10. I'm looking forward to it. And I hope if Netflix or any other studio or production company that's going to be making a live action adaptation, the creator needs to be involved. We don't want another Dragon Ball Evolution. We don't want another Attack on Titan. And we don't want another Cowboy Bebop or Death Note. We don't want any of that. If we have, you know, someone like Oda that can be a part of the actual development of the live action, I think that can be good. If we are going to make a live action Naruto, Kishimoto needs to be involved. I think Kishimoto being involved will be huge. You can probably get the entire Naruto from Shippuden, like right before Shippuden, all done in one season, maybe even 2 seasons. And then you can start with Shippuden. I think it could be done. So as long as you have the source material, having the creators backing and their oversight with the creation and the development of the show is mandatory and is crucial if you want something like this moving forward. I am looking forward to this. I think as a person who has never watched or read One Piece, this makes me want to watch and read One Piece right now. Like, I'm probably going to do it right now. Anyways, thank you guys so much for sticking around for this long. I really appreciate it. If you guys haven't already done so, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, share this video with all your friends. We really, really appreciate it. And we are approaching 2,500 subscribers we aren't already at 2,500 subscribers. Thank you so much and catch you guys on the next one.